On the Harbor One Hotline, it is the host of You Better You Bet and Odyssey Sports Betting Insider, Nick Kostos. And Nick Kostos is presented every week during the season by BetMGM. Check out all the latest lines right now on the BetMGM app and listen to the You Better You Bet podcast, our coverage of the football postseason here at WEEI. It's brought to you by WEEI Snacks. No one does crunchy, salty, or cheesy better than WEEI Snacks. And I'm sad that this is it. This is Nick. Good morning. This is it. This is our last.
What's going on, guys? Yeah.
I'm assuming you're in Vegas.
Yep. Yes. 6:30 in the morning here, aka too early, listening to Shine talk about bubble guts. But still, great to be on here.
Now let me ask you, because I'm assuming that you have whale status. How difficult was it to get the comp room?
Comped? What do you difficult? I don't even think that.
Your phone, and you know what? Your phone stinks. Hold on, you got to go. So where are you?
I literally tested Jackson because I'm in my hotel room. How's it now? I haven't moved from the same spot that I tested in. We're good?
Maybe. Do you have a balcony? Does the room have a balcony? Is it a suite, or are you in like a single bedroom?
It's a pretty nice room. I think it should be okay.
Okay,
you tell me whatever you want to do.
So
okay,
wait, you can't,
I will not move from this spot.
You didn't get your host to get you a room?
I know. I'm in an awesome room. I don't even think about things like this, Greg. Like, they're just, like, done for me. Just, like, over. Like, I just show up and I'm in a great room at a great hotel.
All right.
That's big wheel status.
How is it out
I'm just being honest. I'm being honest.
I know Joe Bucket said that he wouldn't want to be in Vegas. It was going to be a nightmare. How is it so far, the experience of being in Vegas this week, Super Bowl week?
Yeah, it's been a nightmare the last couple of days. And, like, just like, how Radio Row works and how Super Bowl week works for people that haven't gone, and like a lot of people have gone. Obviously, I used to work for NFL Radio. It's like my 11th. It's really tame the first couple days of the week. Monday, Tuesday's kind of dead. Wednesday's like a 5.5 out of 10. Thursday's like a 7.5, and today, Friday, will be like an absolute zoo through the weekend. But I mean, for me, I think I've said this to you guys before. Like, these are business trips for me. Like, I'm working the entire time. I'm on East Coast time, so I'm waking up when all the mutants are coming back from the nightclub. So I'm looking to stay out of it this week. Like, I'm willing to let my guard down and drink and gamble in front of the people that I trust the most. Like, I'm not doing it in front of coworkers, in front of people that like sign my paychecks. So yeah, I'm looking to stay out of it this week. I've been a fuddy-duddy. I'm back in my room early, going to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if any city could handle the Super Bowl, it would be Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's always crazy anyway.
Right.
But it's not like you're in Jacksonville. That was a nightmare when that Super Bowl was
Minnesota.
in Jacksonville. So to me, the Super Bowl ought to be in Vegas every year.
I like
it
that.
ought to be.
No. It needs to be on the East Coast every year because I'm very selfish, and it needs to be about what benefits me the most. And it's things to be on East Coast.
Oh no,
Miami. I don't like the Pacific time nonsense.
There's only one place on the East Coast that you can really have is Atlanta and Miami. Where else are you going to have it?
There's Florida.
Great, let's go.
Yeah,
right, but like you said, Jacksonville. Yeah. You're going to have a Super Bowl down there. Atlanta and Miami are the two livest cities on the East Coast. New Orleans, what are they? 2 hours behind?
New Orleans is Central Time. New Orleans is next year. New Orleans is awesome. It's a great city, so I'm looking forward to that one.
So there you go.
All right. Well, where are you leaning when it comes to this game on Sunday?
I've got like a content shtick that I've been doing the entire week. So let me ask you, I think most people like it. A few of you guys do. Maybe not. Any of you guys ever watched the TV show Lost?
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it, even though it went off the rails after the first couple seasons. You remember the first couple seasons with Locke and Shepard? They did like the man of science versus man of faith, like trope.
Yes.
And so like man of science, if you're a man of science, someone who's like evidence based, right? Like you want to be able to make a bet on something that your eyes have shown you. You're going to like the San Francisco 49ers in this game. Like, the Niners are the better team. They deserve to be favored. They've been power rated better than Kansas City all season. And I think the reason why, people on social media are seeing, all the big bets that are being reported, like $500,000 plus bets, are all on San Francisco money line, like the 49ers just to win the game. And that's because I think a lot of people, like men of science, people who are power rating the game, make San Francisco a bigger favorite than this. And think San Francisco should be a 3, maybe even a 4-point favorite in this game against Kansas City. So that's one side of the equation. The other would just be the man of faith part of it, which is like kind of like when you would bet on Brady and Belichick, which, by the way, you would have printed money doing that for 2 decades, that you feel like at the end of the game, you have like the greatest football player on the planet, and he's just going to win because that's what he always does. I think it's a very difficult game to predict. When I put my head on the pillow, guys, on Sunday night following the Super Bowl, whether I win or I lose, I will sleep soundly knowing that I bet on Patrick Mahomes. So I choose to have faith in Patrick Mahomes going against a better team, like I did so many times with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I'll bet Kansas City to win the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Okay. I mean, it's hard to bet against them.
Right.
I don't want them to win it. I can't stand I don't want anybody to ever challenge the dynasty. I don't want anybody to ever challenge Tom Brady when it comes to how many they win, but it's hard to bet.
I feel like you'll be okay. I feel like you'll be all right with that, is my guess.
Yeah. Shime had shared some interesting wagers with us earlier. You want to get Kostos to give you an opinion on any of those, Shime?
Yeah, Kostos, where do you stand on kind of the running back props here? Because I believe that this game is going to see a lot of running the football, not quite as much passing as you may expect. I kind of expect a lower scoring game. So I love numbers like Isaiah Pacheco over 67.5. The McCaffrey number's high, but I mean, it's Christian McCaffrey. It's more so the touchdowns with him, like a 2-touchdown game for me. Where do you kind of stand on betting these running back props?
Yeah, and I'll toss the quarterbacks into the equation as well.
Yeah,
I do think the game will get loose in the fourth quarter. So, like, I don't know that I bet under on, like, the passing yards for either quarterback. I know Brock Purdy under pass attempts has been a big bet for a lot of people this week. But as far as the running backs are concerned, I agree with your overall premise. Like, I think this should be like a 15-plus carry game for Pacheco. I would never bet his under. He was actually my dark horse pick for MVP a couple weeks ago. I have him at a big number. In lieu of playing McCaffrey at a huge number, and McCaffrey could go over, how I'd like to play San Francisco's run game, I'll actually play Deebo Samuel over rushing yards. It was 16.5 yesterday at my show sponsor, BetMGM, with the thought being, like, there's no game next week. Like, the next important game that Deebo plays in is in September. And they're always saving him for the big spots, and that's how you attack this Kansas City defense, is to run at them. So I'm thinking, like, if I'm Kyle Shanahan, who doesn't like me, by the way. Brian Baldinger told me that this week, that he's listened to the show and has heard my criticism of him and texted Baldy being like, what the hell's this guy's problem? So I appreciate that from Kyle Shanahan. My thought would be, if it's not Christian McCaffrey, why would you bring Elijah Mitchell? And Mitchell's fine, or Jordan Mason. Run the ball with Deebo. So instead of playing McCaffrey over, and he could go over, just want to say that, I like the Deebo Samuel rushing yards over.
Oh, my God. I love the Chiefs. If Nick Kostos is enough to rattle Kyle Shanahan, what is Mahomes going to do?
He literally texted Baldy and was like, what's this guy's problem, basically? I loved it.
Wow. Talk about, I mean, I love your podcast. I think you do great work at BetQL. I just think that Kyle Shanahan might have too much time on his hands.
I firmly agree. I can't imagine anyone caring that much, including my wife, about what I think.
I mean, I could tell him what the problem is. No taste when it comes to pizza. That's the problem. But go ahead.
Well,
No, I was going to say, Nick, I know Shime kind of had more of the rushing game. Where do you stand as far as the over and under in this one? You look at what the 49ers did in the NFC Championship versus what Kansas City did in the AFC Championship. So where do you kind of see this over and under? I believe is what, 47.5?
Yeah.
47.5. So it's telling, and I think we talked about this last year with the Eagles and Chiefs, and I'm on with you guys next year. I think we'll have the same conversation the Friday before the Super Bowl. The side and total are not going to move unless there's something injury related, right? It's just not going to move. The number's perfect. And we've had a lot of guests on this week, people that I really respect, and they're kind of one big shrug emoji as to this total. The total's perfect. So it's basically bet your opinion. What's your opinion as to what's going to happen? I don't have a strong angle. Well, I think the total should be higher because of the weather. It's no, it's temperature control. They're in a dome. I like the over a little bit. I like first half under, second half over. My thought is that the fourth quarter will get very loose and we'll see a lot of scoring at the end of the game. So, lean for me towards the over. I do think that it may get bet up a little bit to 48 if people are interested in betting like that. I do think that you'll beat the market if you bet over 47.5. It could go either way. I'll bet it because it's the Super Bowl. I'll bet the over.
What about anthem length? Shime has the under on that because Reba McEntire sings fast.
But can Shime pop on for a second?
Yeah.
I'd like to ask him a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Are you stupid?
Yes.
Generally speaking.
Oh, but no, because we did this last year. I texted you when I got the anthem rehearsal times to bet them. Why are you betting them now before like we get inside information?
I haven't placed any bets yet. Don't worry. I just said I lean.
Greg just said you bet the under.
Yeah, no, that is my current pick at the moment. I have not placed any wagers specifically because of how we approached it last year.
Why do you think that? Because she sings fast?
No, because the last 3 times that I could find Reba McEntire did the anthem, it came in at like 78, 81, and 83 seconds, which is almost 10 seconds lower than the current total.
She doesn't have that powerful voice.
Almost like they might know something.
Or because they're going off of past anthems, which all go over 90 seconds, but little do they know, because she doesn't have this tremendous singing voice, she doesn't really hold notes and kind of runs right through it.
I think I need more information.
Yeah, man, I'm taking shots at Reba McEntire, huh?
No, she's a coach of the voice for a reason, and I'm sitting here, arguing with you.
I think I need more information on the insider trading that is going on.
Yeah.
It's not insider trading. It's when you have information.
Like insider So, like, at offshores, it's called, like, where, like, you used to bet, and I still bet on them sometimes, before, like, PAPSA was revoked. Like, you take a trip to Costa Rica, right? And, like, and it actually says, in parentheses now, like, you can bet on this, and in parentheses it says, this will stay up until the times get leaked, and then we will pull it down. It's like a big open secret. Like, this happens every single year. The rehearsals actually might have been yesterday, and maybe they're actually, like, putting an end to, like, the inside information getting out. Just to be clear, if I ever get that information, I'm probably like the 10,000th person that gets it. I am far from the first one that gets it.
It's okay, Nick. Greg bankrupted our former Twitch producer by giving him faulty meta advice. So,
what was the advice?
To buy big into Bitcoin.
So you and Tom Brady have something in common.
Yeah, they love Sam Bankman-Fried.
I'm telling you, mark my words. The crypto is making a comeback.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you say SBF, I say WTF.
I mean this sincerely, not like Kostos would know the answer to this. But why is insider trading illegal if the people we elect are allowed to do it every day?
I don't know, man. That's way above my pay grade.
All right, Nick. Well, listen, it's a pleasure having you on all season long. I'm sad that the season's over. I mean, I can't wait for Sunday, but that's it. We got to wait till July rolls around for football.
Yeah.
Which is we'll have you on though at some point. I hope before football season.
Maybe March Madness.
Anytime you guys want. Literally anytime you guys want.
All right, you're the best. Thank you, Nick. Enjoy it out there.
All right. For the final time, wishing everyone minimal sweats, winning bets. The absolute very best of luck.
There he is, Nick Kostos, the host of You Better You Bet, Odyssey Sports Betting Insider, and he is brought to you by BetMGM. Check out all the latest lines right now on the BetMGM app.